Now, on Thursday, World AIDS Day was celebrated across the globe. Sub-Saharan Africa has suffered the most from the epidemic in the world and accounts for two-thirds of the global total of new infections. The continent's governments are stepping up efforts not only to control transmission, but to treat those infected as well. But what if you could kill two birds with the same stone? Recent research shows that the effective antiretroviral drugs can control the virus and help prevent transmission. Malawi, for instance, started a test and treat exercise in April this year. But as Joab Chakhaza reports, the program faces sustainability challenges in the long term.
An ambitious UN AIDS target says by 2020, 90% of all people living with HIV should know their status. It also says that 90% of all people with diagnosed HIV infection should be receiving antiretroviral therapy, and that 90% of all people receiving this therapy should have a viral load so low they cannot infect others. But one of the major problems in managing HIV/AIDS has been introducing people to treatment when their immunity is so low the medicine is almost ineffective. One sub-Saharan African country which started running a test and treat program in early 2016 is Malawi. The country's health minister, Mr. Peter Kumpalume, believes this could be the answer.
The number of people that have started treatment, we have managed to get those numbers up. Since we initiated the test and treat, the numbers of people that have been put on treatment is in line with our expectation.
There are many questions, though. How willing are people to be put on lifelong treatment even when they feel they have no signs of illness? Here are some views from Malawi.
It's better to start after you have been tested positive. It's better to start immediately.
If today a doctor tells me to start the regime immediately after being found HIV positive, I think I would take it for my own health and my well-being.
If I was tested HIV positive, I wouldn't go for treatment at the same moment, because during that time I'd still be in denial about it.
Mr. Safari Mbewe is the executive director of Malawi Network of People Living with HIV. He says the response to test and treat has so far been encouraging.
People are very willing. Coming from the network of people living with HIV, I can actually say it's a very beneficial program. You would want to be on the treatment and no one recognizes that you are ill. Given a chance, no one would want to go back to a scenario where they have to fall sick and actually appear to be wasted and having lost weight.
But is test and treat sustainable in sub-Saharan Africa, where governments strongly rely on donor support for their health programs? More than two-thirds of Malawi's ART program is funded by Global Fund, PEPFAR, UNAIDS and other global partners. So, what if donor support continues to dwindle, leaving the test and treat program in limbo? Mr. Safari Mbewe feels African governments need to step up efforts to develop local capacity to support their own health programs.
We are still not doing well if the program is to be sustainable in the long term. I want to see a scenario where, as a country, we have locally generated resources that would be able to respond to HIV and AIDS in general and the procurement of HIV treatment in particular. So definitely the government has to step up its efforts.
Safari Mbewe, Executive Director of the Malawi Network of People Living with HIV.